and welcome. You're watching UTV Live at 6.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. These are the stories making the headlines.
Health Union warns trusts are running at full capacity and a severe flu outbreak could push them over the edge.
We are extremely concerned not only about today, but if the flu levels are going to keep rising the way they have, we are concerned about our ability to deliver care for patients.
A hotel owner and a member of security staff denied the manslaughter of 3 teenagers who died after a crush outside a disco in Cookstown 6 years ago.
And with the big day less than 2 weeks away, we're counting the cost of Christmas.
Also tonight, there's an early Christmas present for 3 young guitarists who got to meet with Ed Sheeran. Ulster roasted Racing. Now Richie Murphy's team are aiming to conquer Cardiff.
And it's all changed this weekend. A weather warning in place for Sunday, but lots of details to get through. I'll have them all coming up later in the programme.
There are renewed warnings tonight about hospital and GP pressure as flu cases soar by 145% in a fortnight. The Royal College of Nursing says if cases continue to rapidly rise, the already fragile health system could be in real trouble. It comes as health trusts advise the wearing of face masks in hospitals, and some care homes ask visitors to stay away if they're feeling unwell. Here's our health correspondent, Deborah McAleese.
Scenes like this have been dominating national headlines for days as hospitals in England buckle under the pressure of the early flu outbreak. In Northern Ireland, shocking images like this are not unusual, but uncertainty over how long this current flu surge will last is causing concern, not just in hospitals, but in care homes, schools and GP surgeries.
I think what's different this year is that we're seeing that rise in cases and the number of people developing flu and getting sick from flu happening with, sort of greater numbers this year, but also much earlier in the season. So often this kind of a rise is happening later on, perhaps January into February, but now we're seeing it very early in December, and that's really quite concerning because we worry about more cases developing over the course of the winter, and that this sort of rise that we're seeing at the moment could get much worse before it gets much better. We've seen, I suppose, reports of lots of people being in emergency departments and being admitted to hospital, but also from a GP perspective, we see the other end of that. So whenever you see large numbers of people in EDs, that also means that there are huge numbers of people being seen and sorted and supported in general practice, and we're definitely seeing that across practices in Northern Ireland. There's been a huge increase in the demand with people who are suffering with flu and flu-like illnesses over the course of the last couple of weeks.
In the space of just 2 weeks, cases of flu have more than doubled, from 482 to 1,184. And in the past week, 346 patients were admitted to hospital with flu. With patients being treated in increasingly cramped emergency departments, infection control can be extremely difficult.
It is extremely busy at the minute. However, that we're always running at full capacity within our trusts, and it only takes something like the flu, a bad flu outbreak, to actually tip us over the edge again. We are extremely concerned not only about today, but if the flu levels are going to keep rising the way they have, we are concerned about our ability to deliver care for patients.
To try and reduce infection, health trusts have advised visitors to wear masks, and as some care homes report flu outbreaks, visitors are being asked to stay away if they're feeling unwell. Meanwhile, hospitals are warning that as pressures continue to rise, anyone attending an emergency department could be in for a long wait.
And Deborah joins us now. Deborah, in England, NHS and political leaders have been very vocal about the current pressures. There hasn't been the same level of commentary from Stormont. Why is that? Are the pressures here not as severe as elsewhere in the UK?
Well, they are, Sarah, but the big problem in England is concern about this double whammy of rising flu cases and forthcoming strikes by resident doctors there next week. But what you're seeing in England is very similar to what it has been like here in Northern Ireland for several years. And there is a real danger that this is becoming normalised. Back in last December, there was a lot of discussion about hospital pressures, about patients being treated in corridors, about the backlogs in emergency departments. A lot of meetings were held and initiatives were agreed around work streams and workforce planning. But the question is, have those initiatives been vigorously followed through? Every year, it's the same story. Too many patients, not enough beds. The public is losing patience. So this backlog in emergency departments is because of delays in discharging patients, and that's because of a lack of social care. But until that is tackled, this misery is going to continue.
Deborah, there we'll leave it. Thank you.
It's been over 6 years since the deaths of 3 teenagers outside a St Patrick's Night disco in Cookstown. Today, after what the judge described as a long wait, a date for a 3-month trial was set.
The owner of the Greenvale Hotel and a security staff member pleaded not guilty to all charges put to them. Eden Wilson was in court.
Lauren Bullock, Morgan Bernard and Conor Curry were killed in a crush outside a St Patrick's Day disco in 2019. The teenagers died while waiting in a queue of hundreds of others outside the Greenvale Hotel in Cookstown. Today, their families packed into the public gallery of Belfast Crown Court, where 2 men faced charges of their unlawful killing. The hotel's owner, Michael Mickelhatton, who's 58 and from Rock Road and Moneymore, appeared in the dock alongside 47-year-old self-employed security staff member Seamus Mitchell from Mullen Road in Cook. Both men were charged with the manslaughter of the 3 teenagers as well as health and safety offences. When the charges were read to them, Mickelhatton and Mitchell both replied not guilty to all counts. The court then heard from both the Crown and the defence that several issues were still outstanding with regards to setting a date for trial and that it could last 3 months. Madam Justice McBride said that given the events took place in 2019, it's in everyone's interests that we try to get this matter to trial as practically and as reasonably as we can. The judge then spoke directly to the families sitting at the back of the courtroom. She said she appreciated that this is very distressing and has been going on for a long time. She said there may be reasons the trial date is not achieved, but that she would hold regular reviews and manage the case robustly. The next review was listed for early January, with a trial date set for the 5th of October next year. Eden Wilson, UTV Live at Belfast Crown Court.
The police say they are patrolling a popular area of Belfast to ensure motorists comply with the pedestrianisation of the area. It's a week since the scheme was first introduced and some cars are still driving through Hill Street in the Cathedral Quarter.
The Department of Infrastructure say they recognise it will take time to bed in, but say further measures may be introduced if deemed necessary, as I've been finding out. It's an iconic and historic area of Belfast with its cobbled streets and busy bars. And now time is up for cars in Hill Street in the Cathedral Quarter after a new pilot scheme to pedestrianise the area was introduced this time last week, following years of campaigning. Fast forward 7 days and some motorists are still not adhering to the new rules, as our recent pictures show. Appreciate we're only a week in, but clearly the message still isn't getting through to motorists.
To some motorists, Sarah, I mean, our anecdotal evidence is from businesses in the street, and I would agree with them that traffic's down about 80%, and that is, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if someone came by us now, but by and large, the street's pedestrianised. But especially in the evenings, there are some people who haven't got the memo. Now, we work very closely with the police who are doing their best. They can't be here at all times, but they're moving from their engagement and education phase into their enforcement phase, and nobody wants a ticket in the mouth of Christmas, but they will be handing them out tonight and every other night from there on.
The Department of Infrastructure, which says the scheme is a joint partnership between themselves and the police, say bollards can't be introduced to allow disabled people to access the area. But they did tell us in a statement that they'd keep it under review, with the potential to introduce further measures if deemed necessary, although they didn't expand on what they might be. Could those further measures look like? Could it be like cameras which are clocking car regs, for example, like in bus lanes?
Cameras would certainly be helpful, and there's a camera right behind us there, which is already linked up to the police facility at Musgrave. So if they want to know who you are, I've been in that centre, those cameras can go into your watch and tell you what time it is. So if they want to know who the perpetrators are, they can find them.
In a statement, police told us normal patrolling will be conducted in the area, and they'd encourage road users to comply with signage to avoid being fined.
The mother of an 11-year-old girl killed after stepping off her school bus says she'll continue her campaign for better road safety in the new year. Caitlin Rose McMullen died after she was hit by a car near her home in Castle Dawson last March. Her mum is running a Christmas pyjamas appeal for children in hospital in her memory. Stella McGinn says she's overwhelmed with the response. She's been speaking to our Northwest correspondent, Gareth Wilkinson.
She is a grief-stricken mum, but Stella McGinn is also comforted by the legacy that's come from her daughter's death. 11-year-old Caitlin Rose died last March, struck by a car and fatally injured getting off a school bus. A tragedy that happened just yards from her home along the Hillhead Road near Castle Dawson.
Well, it's 282 days from today, sitting here today from we said goodbye to her, so...
And facing into your first Christmas?
Yeah, the first of everything.
That's hard.
Again, no words.
After Stella said her goodbyes to Caitlin Rose in the Royal Victoria Hospital, she had hoped her little girl would be dressed in pyjamas, but a suitable pair wasn't available. That's why she started a Christmas pyjama appeal for sick children in hospital.
So I say this is why we're doing this, and as you can see behind me, there are going to be a lot of people that can give their child what I would wanted to give my daughter that day. Yeah. That's actually a wee onesie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What began in her friend's pizza shop in Ballachy has spread to 15 drop-off points. Donations end on Sunday. The pyjamas will be collected and delivered early next week.
From the north to the south, to England, now to Australia, to Canada. I'm overwhelmed and completely in shock that everybody has, as a community, and everybody has pulled together for this cause.
It's a show of support for Stella and her campaign to improve school bus safety, which took her to Stormont earlier this year.
I'm here today to try to get the bus safety out there, get it.
The Department of Infrastructure says it's continuing to examine options to improve safety for school journeys. Recommendations are expected next year.
Legislation has to be put in place. Drivers have to slow down. Buses, if you see a bus, take a second, stop. Because if it was your son or daughter getting off that bus, like, you wouldn't want to be sitting where I'm sitting at today.
What do you think Caitlin Rose would think of all of this?
Oh, she would love it. Yeah. You know, I think everybody knows about who she is now, and yeah.
She's always with you.
Mm-hmm.
Stella McGinn, Caitlin Rose's mummy, ending that report. Police are treating an attack by a masked gang on a man aged in his 70s in Katy as attempted murder. 6 men armed with bats entered the pensioner's home on the Clay Road around 7:30 last night. They poured fuel over him before starting a fire. He escaped before, where they beat him again before making off. The house and a car were destroyed.
A 44-year-old man is to stand trial next year on a charge of murdering a woman in Mahrefeld. 57-year-old Sophie Watson was found dead at a property in the Ashgrove Park area off the town last August. Andrzej Pajakowski of Ashgrove Park in Mahrefeld appeared at Belfast Crown Court earlier and pleaded not guilty to the charge and was remanded into custody.
A man has died in a crash in Lisnaskea. 69-year-old Francis Lynch was from Rosslea. The collision happened yesterday on the Dernawilt Road, and a woman is critically ill following a collision in East Belfast. The crash involving a car and a pedestrian happened just before 5:30 yesterday evening at Hawthornden Way. Police have appealed to anyone who may have witnessed the collision to come forward.
Criminal barristers are planning to extend their industrial action in the new year in an ongoing dispute over pay. Members of the Criminal Bar Association voted to fully withdraw from all current Crown Court cases from the 5th of January 2026. In response, the Justice Minister said the decision undermines her confidence that the Criminal Bar Association is committed to meaningful engagement. Naomi Long said she and her department will continue to engage constructively with those who are serious about bringing about meaningful change.
With just over a week until Christmas, many of us are in the middle of buying presents and getting all the trimmings in for Christmas dinner.
The cost of the festive period often puts stress on bank balances, with many turning to credit cards to get them through. Well, our economics correspondent Jordan Motes has been finding out how much people are spending on Christmas.
It's often said it's the most wonderful time of the year, but the cost of Christmas, like everything, is going up. Analysis for UTV of own label items from major supermarkets shows on average the price of a Christmas dinner has risen roughly in line with inflation compared to last year. Turkey has gone up to nearly £73 for a 6 kilogram crown. Pigs and blankets has seen an above inflation rise of 5.2%. Sprouts are rising at the rate to be expected, but stuffing on the other hand has jumped by 5%. If you're buying a turkey this year, has it gone up in price from last year? What are you thinking about?
I think it's £85 the turkey.
How big is that turkey?
To serve 6.
Do you remember it a lot cheaper than that in years gone by?
Yes.
No, it was 79 or something like that. It was cheaper, but it wasn't that much cheaper.
I'm always buying Christmas dinner and cooking it.
How much does it cost? Has it gone up this year, do you think?
No, it's roughly the same. Roughly the same. I'm fine with that anyway.
How much do you think you'll spend on your Christmas dinner then?
It's hard to say, but probably about at least £100, like.
What about the turkey part of it? How much do you think that'll cost you?
Obviously it goes on the weight, but you're probably looking about £40 anyway for a good decent turkey.
It's a time of the year when many people struggle to keep up. Nearly 40% of people in Northern Ireland are worried about how they will pay for it all. Close to a fifth are set to turn to debt to get through the Christmas period. A third say they're set to spend more than £600 on presents for family and friends. Add into that Christmas dinner, with a quarter expecting to pay over £300.
Well, I don't typically spend always at Christmas. I would spend things throughout the year to build it up, but probably close to about £700.
How much do you spend at Christmas?
Too much.
Do you save up throughout the year, or do you put it in a credit card, or what way do you pay for it all?
No, I pay cash. I start from about September, leave something in every week.
What about your Christmas presents? How much do you think you spend overall?
No more, I would say, than 150. Yes.
And do you worry about this time of year, do you? How much is all going to cost?
No, because of, I do it over a period of time, so it's no stress.
Everything in together, over £1,500 probably.
How do you pay for it? Do you put it in a credit card? Do you manage it, or what way do you save up for it?
Paying for it, maybe start shopping in the start of October, building up, getting bits here and there, but.
It is only one day of the year, but when you add it up, the cost of Christmas can make it difficult for many. Jordan Motes, UTV Live.
Still to come this evening. We're up for the Cup as Cookstown and Kilcoo prepare to battle it out for Ulster glory.
Plus, we'll meet 3 young guitarists who were rocking with Ed Sheeran.
But first, it's time to look at the headlines making tonight's ITV News at 6:30.
Yes, with all the details, here's Geraint Vincent.
Coming up, a man is found guilty of murdering his wife 8 years after he was cleared of that crime. Robert Rhodes was acquitted of the murder of Dawn Rhodes in 2017, but was retried after their child gave new evidence. We'll have the details. Strike action could collapse the NHS, the stark warning from the Health Secretary as flu cases continue to surge. And Taylor Swift opens up for the first time about the effect the Southport knife attacks had on her. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Thanks, Geraint. Back here, it's time for sport.
Yes, here's Will.
What a signing! John Mulholland Motors, sponsors of UTV Sport.
Good evening. Ulster look to continue the perfect start to their European campaign tomorrow when they travel to Cardiff. Richie Murphy has made 9 changes from the team that thrashed Racing 92, with hooker Tom Stewart set to captain the province for the first time. Ruth Gorman reports.
Tom Stewart passed 60 appearances for Ulster last week and marked his 61st cap with a try after coming off the bench. He's always ready when called upon, and with Rob Herring out for the next couple of weeks with an injury, Stewart is ready to step up and fill the shoes of Ulster's most capped player.
Rob and I he's been very good to me coming right the way through. You know, he's always been good for kind of my development and learning about set piece and stuff because he's so consistent that way. But I know it's good. Like Rob and I have a good thing going, and we know we're only going to drive each other and get the best out of each other, and then evidently, hopefully, that'll be the best thing for the team. Scrummaging is obviously a big work on for me, and it's something I really want to develop in my game. And he's a guy that's been in a lot of scrums. No disrespect to him, but he knows the tricks of the trade there, and it's such an experienced position. So just kind of learning off him each week and scrummaging against him week on week is it's good.
Tom Stewart has been playing really well this year. Obviously had a broken year last year with the injuries, but has shown some real form. Massive ball carrier, really dynamic, and a real team leader as well. So you know we're really happy to have him.
Zach Ward was also on the score sheet last weekend against Racing 92 with 2 tries of his own, one set up by his brother Bryn.
Yeah, it's pretty special, you know, growing up, always playing mini rugby together and stuff like that. Now to be able to be playing together on a European stage and be able to score at home and get a good win at home is really special. He's been phenomenal, and on Friday night I thought he was exceptional, so it was really good and really special to share that experience with him, and hopefully got a few more to come as well.
Ulster take on Cardiff tomorrow in their second Challenge Cup game before a busy period of interpros over Christmas. Ruth Gorman, UTV Live.
Kilcoo and Cookstown meet in Armagh tomorrow in the Ulster Senior Club football final, while Moneyglass's ladies travel to Croke Park for an All-Ireland football final. Daniel Duffy reports.
Digging deep and winning cups is what Kilcoo are all about. They've been kings of Ulster before and are used to performing on the big stage. The drive and motivation is there to get their hands on the Seamus McFerrin Cup once again.
Good group of boys in our team now that are trying to win their first, and I think that's where the standards this year have been really pushed. Them lads are trying to put their name into our club's history to win their first, and that's what they're pushing on hard to do. So I think probably that element of it, and just keeping things fresh every year, and in the management that came in this year have given us a real new lease of life as well.
As for their opponent Scottstown, they've been in finals in recent times. They were defeated by Glen 2 years ago. They know how difficult a task it will be against Kilcoo.
Kilcoo have been, you know, one of the dominant sides in Ulster, and indeed, you know, obviously captured their All-Ireland title a number of years ago. So it's a big challenge for us, and you know, no matter who plays Kilcoo, it's a big challenge for anybody. And their record in the Ulster Club Championship speaks for itself. So, but at the same time, that's a really exciting challenge for us as well to play against the best team in the competition and the favourites of the competition from the start. So look at it, you know, that's hugely motivating for us as well.
In ladies football, Moneyglass head to Croke Park tomorrow, hoping to clinch the All-Ireland title for the very first time in their history.
Each game this year we've kind of taken just game by game. We don't plan far ahead. Like you never know when your season's going to end. So yeah, we kind of just step into it with the same kind of attitude, just give it everything and see how we get on. Like everybody's talking about it, everybody's wishing you luck, everybody's so invested in it, and it's just been so great.
Well, the top two are in action in the Irish Premiership this evening. Coleraine and Larne are level on points, with the Bandsiders ahead on goal difference. They host Bangor tonight.
Tough game. They beat us at their place earlier in the season. And as we do every opponent, they'll get our utmost respect, but we'll do everything in our power to try and pick up 3 points at home.
Meanwhile, Larne welcome Glentoran to Inver Park as they look to keep pace with Coleraine.
We've got a couple of games in hand, but games in hand are no good unless you win them, you know what I mean? So we need to go and try and get another positive result. We had a really difficult task here on Friday night. We've got the Glens at home, which is a very difficult game. But we go out there and just put every focus into the next match and see where it takes us.
That's all your sport this evening. Have a great weekend.
What a signing! John Mulholland Motors, sponsors of UTV Sport.
Now, he's a global chart-topping singer-songwriter who's renowned for encouraging young people on their musical journey.
But 3 Northern Ireland schoolboys got a big surprise when they met Ed Sheeran at his sellout concert in Dublin this week. And he gifted them, each one of his signed guitars. Barbara McCann has the story.
When you're getting to grips with learning the guitar, there can be no better instrument than one, or in this case, 3, linked to a world-renowned musician. Following a competition, Porrig, Kewan and Sam were each presented with a brand new Sheeran by Loudon guitar, signed by the chart-topping artist himself after his Dublin concert.
Playing the guitar and the competition, I think I found the bragging rights, you know, and this proves it, and I love it. Just looking at it motivates me.
Shocking. I thought it was the other people's guitars coming in to get signed, but no.
Meeting the musician face to face was also a dream come true for the schoolboys.
I just couldn't believe it, like, it was unreal. Like, to think that he's way playing in America and all over the world, and you're just standing there right in front of him, just speaking, having the crack with him. We were lining up outside ready to meet him, and he was just walked past us and he was like, right guys, and it's just the most casual thing in the world. So if Ed Sheeran just didn't walk past us.
Delighted with the gifts, their music teacher is encouraging their musical journey.
The world is their oyster, absolutely, and just let them keep believing in themselves and believing in their skill, and bring that confidence to light, and just go for it. Enjoy the moment, and enjoy this musical journey that they're on.
Barbara McCann, UTV Live.
And I definitely heard you singing there.
Oh, I have a nephew who'd be very, very jealous.
Oh.
So.
Now the weekend beckons, but there's another yellow weather warning for heavy rain from midnight on Sunday until 6 a.m. on Monday.
Just what we wanted to hear. Aislinn's got the forecast.
Whatever the weather, there's a warm outlook. UTV Weather, sponsored by the Grant Arona R290 heat pump.
Hello there, and a very good evening to everyone at home. Well, it's been a dry and bright day, lots of sunshine around. Into the weekend, though, it is all changed. Now, initially, it is dry on Saturday. Overall, through the weekend, it stays quite windy, and there's a weather warning in place as well for Sunday. Now, that weather warning is for some heavy rainfall. There will be some strong winds around as well, but the rain is falling on already saturated ground, so there could be a lot of surface water spray on the road, some localised flooding as well. And this is coming after Storm Bram has delivered quite a lot of rainfall, so it's just something to bear in mind on Sunday. If you do have any plans, please stay up to date with the forecast. As for the rest of this evening and overnight, clear skies out there, perhaps an isolated shower out to the west, but for most a dry start. That breeze helping prevent a frost from forming, but still a chilly start first thing on Saturday. Temperatures dropping back to around 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. Lots of sunshine though at first through Saturday morning. Increasingly though, here's a weather front on the way, spreading in from the west from the middle of the morning onwards. Showery outbreaks of rain on and off, quite blustery, gusty winds. Temperatures though holding up at around 10 degrees Celsius, so it is introducing some mild air as that weather front pushes in from the west. And across the rest of Ireland, it's turning quite damp and unsettled as well. Always a lot of cloud around, perhaps something a little drier and brighter, just hanging on in the southeast just that little bit longer until the sun goes down. Now we'll just take a look at the bigger picture to see where this weather warning is coming from. So from Saturday into Sunday, weather front pushes through and then another weather front pushes in on Sunday, and it's this weather front here that we can see quite a bit of rainfall right the way through the day, and that weather warning stays in place right the way through to the early hours of Monday morning.
UTV Weather, sponsored by the Grant Arona R290 heat pump.
Now, before we go, let's remind you about this evening's UTV Life. It features Danny from the Coronas and the Christmas comedy Belfast. Actually, that's UTV Life from 7 o'clock, but that is UTV Live this Friday evening. Don't forget our Saturday newsletter featuring all the best UTV content over the past week. Just scan the QR code, it's somewhere there on your screen to make sure it drops into your emails tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Paul will be back with the late news at 10:30. The ITV news continues with Garrett. From Paul and me and everyone on the team, thanks for watching and have a lovely weekend.
Good evening.